What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Hey-o.
Hello, 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 hello.
It's the Candid Athletic Training podcast.
I think that's the healthiest thing I've ever seen you drink, Kevin. It's just a thin bottle.
It is a thin bottle.
Can.
The least amount of
It's a
calories out of anything that I usually drink, I would say. I don't know.
Welcome, everybody. This is the Candid Athletic Training podcast.
On a diet.
My name is Chad. You got a big
I'm
event.
Kevin.
You got a big event coming up in 3 weeks. You need to
Huge event.
tone up for.
Yeah.
Tone.
Just wear tighter shirts and I'll be fine.
Tighten. Well, I mean, that's why they do custom fit.
Yeah, exactly. I just got measured and I was like, hey, listen, just tighten everything up a little bit. Just hold it all in place, all right?
Do you hold your breath? I do.
No, I didn't. I pushed the gut out a little bit, make myself feel better. What do you got?
This is easy as 1, 2, 3. This is Michael Jackson, Jackson 5, episode 123.
A, B, C.
Do, re, mi, A, B, C.
123.
1, 2, 3, baby, me, you and me.
So remember when my first goal was 52 or something? Because that was 52 straight weeks.
We've doubled it.
And then we did 100. I mean, we've more than doubled it, Chad.
Mm-hmm.
More than doubled up the original goal. That's pretty wild.
It's fun.
It's really fun.
It's fun to think about.
Can't believe people still listen to us doing this stupid show.
And we still come up with fun, interactive topics for you all. Whether you're on the live stream, thank you very much. Say hello if you're new.
Hi.
Or if you're listening to this at home.
I'm Kevin. I'm new.
If you're the comfort of your own couch or car or wherever you listen to your podcasts and you're just listening to us at home, we still appreciate you.
I think this is what we're going to start off with, all right?
Yeah, let's start.
Because one of our listeners
Go ahead.
got a shout out today. Well, this week. So, a Jake, I'm sorry if I mispronounce your last name, but I'm going to go with Boese, Boese. But he reached out to us and asked us if we could give a little shout out.
It's like
It's like
listening to the radio when you're in high school. Can I get a shout out?
Can I get a shout out to all my buddies back at home? Because I mean they're just sitting on the couch and I'm having fun at this party. And I could give a little shout out. So Jake wanted a shout out to Tyler Martin and the whole crew over at UW Parkside. So that's University of Wisconsin Parkside for you non-Wisconsinites. I guess Jake is finishing up his internship there, and everybody was great. He wanted to say hi to the whole sports med staff. Hopefully you guys are listening. Jake, thanks for letting us know that the UW Parkside sports med staff is awesome and that it's a great place to do an internship.
On top of their game.
They're on top of their game. We know Tyler is awesome because he listens to the show. I do expect him to participate more now that he's had an official shout-out on the podcast. But that being said, Jake, gladly say hi to all the folks there at Parkside, particularly that Tyler Martin, for you. So Thanks for reaching out.
Kudos. It's just always nice to know that other people are doing well.
Absolutely. And you know what else it's nice to know is that people are still doing internships. I think a lot of people lost their internships last year. They had to do virtual internships and things like that. So I'm hoping that his wasn't all virtual, but yeah, I'm glad that that's going on too. I think my internship, I don't know how you feel about it, but it definitely shaped my career a little bit,
Yeah,
Got me.
For you, it did.
Big time.
For me, I met some great people.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say that it shaped my career.
Sure.
It was fun. I have some stories. That's for sure.
Well, that's at least something.
Life in the NBA.
Did you learn anything?
Life in the NBA. Yeah, I learned what life in the NBA is like. Just a little hint of NBA life.
Yeah. I loved my internship. It was amazing. Literally.
You parlayed that.
I definitely parlayed that into a career.
So I think that's important. I think that's important to hear. Some of the feedback that we received this week is that we need to identify the athletic training students out there and let them know that this podcast is for them as well. So if you're going through schooling, you're still an AT student, or you just finished up, we have so many people that just passed their BOCs and are newly certified. Congratulations to you.
Congratulations. Wait, I wonder
if
I have an applause thing on.
I do. Here. Ready?
You do?
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody can hear that though, but everybody can hear this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh. Yeah. I like it. I like it.
That's what it sounds like when you really nail that Lockman's.
And then anytime we're talking, it's... Turn your phone off, Kevin. Jesus Christ, turn your ringer off.
Ding, ding.
That's so rude.
So the students out there, continue to listen. In fact, you're going to want to become members if you're newly certified. You just passed your BOC. I know we talked about this last week, but we are now affiliates with MedBridge. We can get you CEUs. Now that you're certified, you're going to have to stay current. Get yourself a membership. We're going to save you, going forward, we're going to save you some money. So you're going to go to candidathletictraining.com, get yourself a membership, partner with us because we are going to help you out as you get into your profession. We're
literally trying to make the membership free because we know you're going to sign up for MedBridge because we all wait to the last minute to do some CEUs.
Well, and that's going to come into play
or is it just me?
In a little bit. Oh yeah, I'm a procrastinator. I know one person that doesn't procrastinate. And it's my office mate.
Oh, Kelly?
She finishes them almost before she can.
Jeez.
Not even allowed.
Is she cheating? What is she doing? How is she getting them all done?
Huh? We'll get into that later.
Yeah, interesting.
So before we get into tonight's show, let's just thank our official sponsors, the folks at Healthy Roster, www.healthyroster.com. They are the official sponsor of the Candid Athletic Training podcast.
You're my boy, Blue.
You're my boy, Blue. Everything you see here, this is because of them. So thank you. So reach out to them and say thank you for providing. Oh, look at this. You're getting a goddamn... You're getting a fucking delivery here.
Welcome to Brew Fitness Milwaukee.
Ryan, do you want to come in?
Wow.
Do you want to introduce yourself? Do you want to talk about your place?
Not a chance. Wow.
This is... we're at the Brew Fitness studio.
Where?
Brew Fitness.
What?
Well, you're only opening a new gym.
Wow, and the guy's expanding to another gym. Yeah.
This place is so successful, he's opening a second one.
Jesus.
So that's Ryan. He's the owner.
Making people fit everywhere. Well, there's the other one, Savannah. She's afraid of the camera, though.
Brew Fitness, MKE. If you are ever in Milwaukee, come on in. Get yourself a little trial. Come take a look. She wants to say hello.
Hey, guys. What's up?
What's your name?
Savannah.
Savannah, what do you do here at Brew Fitness?
I do it all.
She does it all, everybody. She does it all.
But Kevin, we don't do interviews. I'm just kidding.
Now get out of here.
Bye, Savannah. Have a good night.
Bye.
So if you are ever in Milwaukee, come check out Brew Fitness MKE. It is actually a fun place to work out. You can just tell by the people. The owner just brought Kevin a damn beer. And you don't want to work out here?
You remember when you joined and then I eventually was looking at joining and then I walked downstairs and there was a keg and I was like, well, I guess I'm joining.
Yeah. It was a layup.
It was nice. The $2 beer or something like that. Bye, Savannah. Stop interrupting our podcast, for Christ's sake.
Abby, we will get you a tutorial from MedBridge.
We will,
I promise.
Abby.
But Abby is on the live stream. Abby got a discount.
Congratulations, Abby.
$175 discount on MedBridge.
That's so awesome.
So good for her.
Was Abby having troubles getting onto the podcast at one time?
Yes.
Was that Abby?
We're
sorry,
we're figuring this out as we go.
Yeah, we are. We are.
Okay, so this is episode 123. We got the huge. You got anything before we get into tonight's show?
Oh, I don't think so. Not right now.
All right.
How about in a second?
Let's do it.
Oh, no. Everybody has a little snafu. I'm not a producer, Chad. I'm the talent.
No, I actually think those are people cheering for us going into the break.
Gotcha.
That wasn't actually a sound effect.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, so again, we have another partnership. We have another great partnership with a wonderful company, Howie's Athletic Tape. Everybody, these guys have been great. We've gotten to know them a little bit over the last few weeks to a couple months. We met them, I think, honestly, first way back at NATA. I think, right? That was our first kind of maybe even interaction with them. I think a lot of people know Howie's and know that there's a lot of buzz about this company, right? There's a lot of tape companies out there, but Howie's is trying to do it a little different. They have only been around for 5 years now, but they are taking the athletic tape world by storm. I don't know if you knew that, Chad, but they are.
Take the world.
Take the world. Howie's not only have the highest quality athletic tapes, but they really care for athletic trainers. I think there's a theme with everybody that we pair with, right? And I think number one, everybody we pair with on this podcast, we know that they care for athletic trainers. They look for you to be at your top game, and they want to help you with that.
I know that you have what they want you to say.
I know, but I want to say more.
Okay, well you don't have to, because one of our live streamers, Kevin, the other Kevin, Kevin with an I, he just put on the live stream, Mason at Howie's is the man. He is the best rep I've ever dealt with. Plus, they send beer koozies with your order.
Yes, they do.
So if you want tape and beer, or beer and tape.
Beer and tape. That's like my dream. That's like a Christmas for me, right?
You're getting good customer service.
So listen, Mason, particularly over at Howie's, he's going to help all athletic trainers get that tape order in. He's going to answer any questions you have, whether or not you even have them. I mean, and whenever you have them, they will be there for you. They have everything that you would possibly need to cover your athletes in 1 million rolls of tape.
1 million.
1 million. They have several different styles of tape, and this is what I think people don't know just yet. Howie's used to have basically just a hockey tape, but they've advanced, okay, guys? They have everything from pro-grade athletic tape. Pro-grade, by the way.
That's short for professional.
They got flex
which means
wrap.
It's good.
They got armor flex. They got finger tape. They got pre-wrap. They have ice bags. I personally like putting ice bags and then throwing a couple maybe like cans of adult beverages in those ice bags and then go home with them. Anyway, we'll talk about ice later, maybe one other day.
Maybe.
But even some strong plastic wrap to, wrap those hot packs or maybe ice packs on people. But they don't shy away from listening to their customer service or their customers on what services they need. So you can reach out to the Howie's reps at any time. I promise. Okay. They will be more than happy to help you. So call Howie's rep today. Maybe Mason. Mason just got a big pay raise because of Kevin here. And ask for some samples. See why everybody is trying Howie's. Why people are switching to Howie's. There's a lot of good tapes out there, but Howie's is doing it the best right now. Promise you.
If it's a stock market, they're climbing.
Yeah, you better get in now.
You want to get on now.
You want to get in now.
It's kind of like crypto.
I mean,
cryptocurrencies. You want to get in now before they explode.
That Dogecoin.
I just, you know what, Kevin? I just got into the crypto game on Thursday. I just put some money down. I said I want in because if it works, it works.
You got a Howie's hat right
You
there.
got a Howie's
hat right there.
Yeah, I'm in the crypto game.
Dude, that's awesome. Good for you. Did you call Ryan? You should call Ryan. Not like Ryan, my buddy Ryan.
Oh.
Because he's a crypto genius.
Really?
Yeah, man.
I didn't know that.
You need to talk to him. That being said, I never listened to him. I didn't listen to him a year ago when I should have gotten into it. And now I'm just an idiot.
I think Doge is going to go down. That's what I read.
Doge is going to go down.
It went up twice now, and it'll go down. So I'm off the Dogecoin.
Anyway, check out Howie's. Okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Jesus.
So thank you to Howie's for sponsoring these segments.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
Like you said, we're only partnering with people that really, truly care about the athletic trainer.
Do you know their website? Howie'sHockeyTape.com.
Thank you.
.com.
All right, Kevin, where are we starting this shindig tonight?
I'm not going to lie, this beer's a little warm.
What do you think you did to it before you brought it over?
I'm just hoping it's really beer. I don't know. Where do you want to start? What do you think should be the first official Howie's segment? Top 5? Because it's going to be a fun one.
Top 5.
Let's do it.
Let me hit this one. All right. Kevin.
Yeah?
We asked 100 athletic trainers this question. You're going to guess the top 5 responses.
That's what I do.
Rick says, "Welcome to the Candid Finance Podcast." You're damn right.
You're damn right. Invest your money wisely, everybody, because we don't make a lot of it.
Kevin,
Yeah.
pick one musical artist to have on shuffle or / repeat in your athletic training room. So if you could only, the whole stuck on the island, you can only listen to one or watch one movie, whatever. So in your athletic training room, you got one musical artist that you can.
This is really tough.
Well, for me, it's actually easy, but I think in general,
for you,
top
it's
5,
easy.
It's gonna. Well, there's only. Never mind. Just give me your answers.
Right. Well, you're gonna have to give your top 5 then.
I only have a top 2.
Okay, you're gonna have to give that top 2. All right, number 1, JT, Mr. Justin Timberlake.
I could get down with that.
Mm-hmm.
He would, yeah.
Number 2, the Eagles.
Philadelphia.
No.
Oh.
The band. Number 3, Tom Petty.
Wow. Are these what you think are the top 5, or these are your top 5, what you would want?
A little combination of both. I was trying to think of music that
Combo
transcends time, right? Number 4, I went with a little different genre, Zac Brown Band.
That's a different genre?
Yeah. Well, maybe not so much from Tom Petty.
Okay.
I tried to throw a little country in there, but not make it too country.
What's wrong with country?
Nothing's wrong with country, but I'm trying to think of I think most people that like a little bit more of the classic rock music would also enjoy Zac Brown Band, and vice versa. If you like country, you probably like some Zac Brown Band.
Sure.
Right?
I would agree with that.
Last but not least, the queen of all things that are music is music, Beyonce.
Interesting.
Give
me your 5 again.
So JT, Eagles, Tom Petty, Zac Brown, Beyonce. I will say this: Beyonce is not on my top 5. That is, I wouldn't be able to do that. But I figured enough people would say it.
Not gonna lie, the very first answer we got was Beyonce.
Yeah, and then nothing after that.
And then nothing after that. I thought for sure she was gonna run away with it, and she did not. She did not even make the top 5. Now this was.
Boys, Jimmy Buffett. Hey, Kevin.
Yeah. Have you been to a Buffett concert?
I have. Don't remember much of it.
Yeah. Alpine Valley. Tough place to.
Yeah. Party bus and everything.
Okay.
Imagine that.
So there were so many different answers. If you got 3, you're in the top 5.
Yeah.
So we had
a lot of different answers.
We had a 3-way tie for 3rd place with 3 responses apiece.
Okay.
Garth Brooks.
Whoa.
Fall Out Boy. And Luke Combs.
Okay, Luke Combs is country.
Country,
right?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm going to have to figure out who Luke Combs is, though.
What songs he sings?
Yep. Because I don't know any Luke Combs songs. You know what? You want to hear some funny stories about all that? Or do you want to just keep going? I can tell you funny stories afterwards.
About what? About Fall Out Boy?
I partied with Fall Out Boy with the drummer at his in his basement.
Of course you did.
Swear to God.
Oh my gosh.
He lives in Milwaukee, or he did live in Milwaukee when I was a young man, and we used to go to parties at his house.
That's awesome.
It wasn't that great.
No, overrated.
I'm sorry. You know what? Kudos to you. You probably don't like athletic training, but I'm just not a Fall Out Boy fan.
Me?
No offense.
Are you talking to? Oh, him?
Everybody.
I mean, only 3
Clearly
people.
Enough
3
people.
3 people said Fall Out Boy. That's how they got into the top 5.
Luke Combs.
Okay, in 2nd place with 6 answers.
Damn, this guy's popular. Holy crap.
6 people said Taylor Swift. I don't know how you feel. I know, very popular.
Very
artist,
popular.
Very popular artist. I personally would not have her anywhere near my top anything.
No.
But
this
is not my survey. This
is everybody else's.
This is a compilation of what people across the country want. Number one answer. Number one answer. 7 responses.
Okay, wait, hold on. 7 responses, number 1 answer. Justin Timberlake. It's got to be Justin Timberlake.
It's not.
The F. All right, who is it?
It's an artist that we've covered on this show before. Bless you.
Hey. Spears make me sneeze.
We've covered this on this podcast. We've talked about this musical.
Talked about this musical artist. Okay. You were. Oh no, it's not gonna be that one. Oh, I don't know. It's gonna take me too long to figure it out.
Queen.
Oh, that should be on the list.
Queen was the number one answer.
You know what? I love the Eagles, but I should have taken the Eagles off and put Queen. I would absolutely. Queen is fantastic.
So that's your wheelhouse.
For the most part. I mean, so you know what's fun is in my current position, I have to like I do one-on-one treatments. So like I have to like guide the music kind of with who's in the room.
I think that's kind of the nature of the question is just thinking about it when you're in a traditional setting, you might have 30 different people in there. So you want to please as many of those people as you can. So
that's what I try
you
to
want
go.
to keep it kind of
I'm
low
gonna
key.
I'm gonna tell you what I do a lot of Eagles radio. I do a lot of Tom Petty radio, but I also treat a lot of like
old people,
but that no, seriously, like that 40 to 50-year-old, like you know what, my knees are starting to hurt, like blah blah blah, and they love that shit. So every once in a while, I throw my own little wrinkle in there, and I put on some Justin Timberlake or something like that.
I love Justin Timberlake.
And then I do have some patients that are like, you know, like something kind of quiet and relaxing is also too. So you know what? I've learned a lot of great jazz, a lot of like a little more blues singing, but particularly jazz. I didn't know anything about jazz music until I actually got my job now, and I know a few jazz
go with your jazz
people.
hands. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Magic hands.
I gotta hear this though. Hold on. This is his most popular song.
Luke Combs?
Yeah. I don't know if this is a copyright infringement or anything, but
no, you can play it.
We're gonna definitely.
We're just talking about it, so you can play it.
I have never heard this song in my life.
It's a little slow.
It's a little slow for
that athletic training.
A little slow for an athletic training. What about this song? Okay. All right. We could do this. We could do that. I'll dig some Luke Combs. You know, I didn't look down far enough, but he does have a song that said "Beer never broke my heart."
Yeah, that's so true.
I mean, me and him probably should hang out.
So, all right, you want to know how today is one of those days where you're like, how old do you feel?
You know, one person on that list.
10 different answers on this list. I was like, I have no idea who this is. So
give it to me. Let's see how old I am.
I want to know if you've known this.
Yeah.
Juice WRLD. Have you ever heard of Juice WRLD?
I've heard of him. Yes.
Bullshit.
No, I have.
All right.
And remember my story of I knew I was old when.
Yeah.
And one of my patients, I was treating a high school kid, and in Milwaukee we normally they said boogie with a hoodie.
Oh, that's on here.
Yeah, boogie with a hoodie.
Oh no, it's not. It's not on here. It's not on here. Sorry.
So Juice WRLD is in that same era of hip hop.
Kane Brown.
No idea.
Is that country? Sounds country. Could be
Kanye.
Could
Brown.
be rap.
Could
Kane.
be
Kane. Kane Brown.
Yeah, it could be a
That's
lot. That's
two. I didn't know.
Kane Brown.
AJR. We looked at. Had to look it up earlier.
We did look that up.
AJR.
No idea who that was.
3. All right, I'm getting old. All time low.
What?
All time low.
That's not a band. That's like
it might be.
It's a status in life.
It's probably young new hip hop.
Oh, all right.
Bad Bunny.
That's Kevin Hart in Gold Rush or whatever. Isn't his name Bad Bunny? I swear to God.
All right.
No, it's so clearly
look it up. Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
That was number 1, 2, 3, 4. Bad Bunny 5. Quinn XCII.
What?
Quinn XCII. I think I have heard that person.
Is that like Roman numerals?
Yeah. Yes.
So what is
I think I actually have
10, 40,
40 I don't know. XCII. Tell me somebody.
No. 90.
Josie Olson says
92.
Kane Brown is very much new country! Exclamation, exclamation. I think that means Josie likes Kane Brown. Quinn XCII. I think that's a new young female artist that I might have heard of her. Lindsay
Lohan.
Sterling.
Nope.
Oh, Ed just got to me. Hang on one second here. Lindsey Sterling. Lecrae. Lecrae.
Well, we looked that up.
Is that French music? Lecrae.
I had heard of Lecrae. I didn't know what it was, though.
How about Revivalists?
No.
Okay, so I'm not that old. I'm not much older than you because you're not hearing any of these either. Big Booty Mixes.
That's not a band. It's not a band.
Quinn is a guy. Sorry, Quinn. Quinn, pronounced 92.
Yeah, 92, right?
Quinn 92. All right.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, wait, what was that last one?
Big Booty Mixes?
Okay, no. I mean, that's just like now, 10. Like,
okay, hold on. No, I don't know. How about this one? It's a single name.
Okay.
Apparently they're good if you only have a name. It's like Cher or Madonna.
Fool's Gold.
Halsey. 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 Halsey.
That sounds familiar. Halsey?
So everyone's broken in. Nate, you're off my list. OAR is my number one for sure. Absolutely. 100% OAR all day, every day.
I knew that.
Give me all the OAR you can give me.
And?
Number two, the only other band that would even be in contention is Old Dominion.
Oh.
I love Old Dominion. I think they jam.
Interesting.
Slay.
They slay. They slay that. Okay, I'm sorry. So Kevin Hart's, his character in Fool's Gold, not Gold Rush, Fool's Gold was Big Bunny. I thought his name was Bad Bunny.
Okay.
Dang it.
So we don't know who Bad Bunny is yet. But anyways, we got people talking OAR. I love it. We only got one OAR answer on here. You know, unfortunately,
a lot of people like that band.
OAR, they're phenomenal. It's so much fun.
Pretty interesting.
They're coming to Summerfest again this year. I'm already lined up to go.
I'd go Mumford. Mumford gets a little kind of like
that was one of the
intense.
best concerts. One of the best concerts I've ever seen was Mumford and Sons.
Yeah, that's incredible. That is 100%.
They're really good.
I would love to see them, and I think they might be one of the best live bands that's existing right now. I would say.
Zach says he doesn't know OAR, Old Dominion, but all the people I never heard of, Zach knew. So,
Zachy Young did.
I would say Justin Timberlake would make my list too. And then if I do want some rap on there, because I used to love rap music, I think I just have to go. Oh, Eminem could be. I mean, it's not really professional. Whatever.
I mean, that's what's tough about that hip hop.
Yeah,
rap
it's tough
world
to do.
is I mean, when we grew up with it, it would not be appropriate for an athletic training room.
No.
Other than in your, maybe very adult athletic training room. What?
Dylan says OAR is good, which is too light. It's not good enough. But
wow,
he says he was disappointed with Summerfest when he was there a few years ago.
I don't. Yeah, you probably were. That just means you're getting a little old, Dylan. I'll tell you that much.
And then everyone says, what's the best concert they've ever been to? Ed said he's seen OAR 2 times. Ooh. I think I've seen OAR about 20 to 25 times.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, actually, I think I have.
20 to 25 times.
Legitimately.
You are 43?
Yeah. I've seen him twice a year, multiple years.
Really?
Yeah. I've seen him 3 times in one year, but.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake.
It's probably it's probably 15 to 20. I've seen OAR.
Right.
15 to 20.
All right.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, honestly, Justin Timberlake is one of the. That's definitely in my Mount Rushmore, my personal Mount Rushmores of concerts. For sure.
That's one I wish I would have went to when he went to the new.
To the Fiserv. And we said the same thing. We're like, we got to go to this because he's this just kind of once in a lifetime talent. Just like our parents were with Michael Jackson. Like, it's just like, or Elvis, something like that. I feel like he's in that category now of like, oh, I remember when I saw that person. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Some of the best concerts, though, I'd ever been to were some of my first concerts, and it was called New Rock Fest. You remember that? Like New Rock 1021?
Yeah,
you
I remember
when
that.
was a station? And it was an all-day affair at the Marcus Amphitheater, which is the Summerfest grounds. And it was just constant bands, but it was everything from Green Day to Beck to who else? Who was it? Like who are the people that are from the Violent Femmes?
Yep, from
like
Milwaukee,
teams like that.
Wisconsin.
Bands like that. It's awesome. I did see Elton John and Billy Joel when I was younger. That was pretty big.
The people on the live stream were asking, what's your single favorite best concert you've ever been to?
Single?
Yeah, single best concert.
It's probably Justin Timberlake.
Yeah. So mine's, I went to a rap concert. It was Sean Paul. There was 5 people. It was Sean Paul opened, and then Snoop Dogg. I'm forgetting some. Oh, Fabulous. Okay, so it went Fabulous,
F-A-B-O.
Sean Paul. Then it went Snoop Dogg when he was 3rd.
Huh.
Then it was 50 Cent, and then it was Jay-Z. That was one night. That was incredible.
That's kind of hard to beat.
That's
actually impossible.
And then Beyonce and him were dating, so Beyonce came on stage for like 2 songs, and it just blew up. It was awesome.
If you are a fan of hip hop rap music, I don't know if you can beat that lineup.
No, it was incredible.
That's pretty unbelievable, actually. I think you're lying.
No,
You're totally lying.
All right, let's move on.
Okay, whatever.
What do you want to do next?
Friend or foe?
Friend
Fof.
or foe here.
Foe.
This is going to be a good one. We put it on social media today just to get a feel for what people are saying here. And the question is, online CEUs, friend or foe? You want to go?
You go.
All right, let me just
Pull it
throw
up.
the results up here.
Yeah.
Friend or foe, online CEUs.
God.
Friend,
How many votes?
93%. Foe, well, I obviously made a typo here. 4. And somebody called, I think Kevin called me out on it.
Whatever, Kevin.
Kevin said, typo, boys. Yes.
Whatever, Kevin.
And the sentiment here is the online CEUs are easy to get. So if you're going for ease, that makes it a huge friend.
Yeah.
If you want to get hands-on skills, though, it's probably lacking a little bit. So it might make it a foe. Somebody did say something to the effect of the nice thing about the online, though, is you can pause it. If you're taking notes, you can pause it, write something down. You can rewind it, hear it a couple times, let it sink in. Where in a hands-on class, you really only get one time to hear this. So this is a discussion for the new grads too. This is something you're going to think about as you start to do your CEUs. How do you want to do them? So that last point really makes some sense to me. Learn at your own pace. I'm a person that sometimes I need to like reread the same thing 3 or 4 times. But this is such a hands-on profession. Damn. I have a really tough time with this friend or foe.
I actually learned. I was just talking about this with somebody else. I feel like I learn best by watching somebody talk.
Really?
So like lectures are good for me.
You're a visual learner?
And then
like
I don't know if it's.
Do you watch people's mouths when they talk, or do you watch their eyes? I'm a mouth. Like I look at people's mouths, so I think people get nervous when I'm talking to them because I'm never looking at their eyes. I'm always looking at their mouth.
I don't know if I ever thought about that.
You want me to start talking?
Yeah, start talking. Let's see where I'm looking, boy. No, I mean, like, so the things I learned going back to school, I learned more from like the instructor talking to us and me writing notes off of that and making those weird side notes, I mean, versus like reading my textbook and then like regurgitating that information. I learned more from like those little, the nuggets, the little clinical pearls that happen from your instructors. Those stick out in my head way more. And then by doing and like feeling. So in-person like lectures and then like doing it is way better for me. So for me, it's a foe. Online CEUs, to me, like I'm not good at it. For me, I do think they are a huge friend to athletic trainers because I don't know if we could feasibly go to enough classes and lectures and so forth to get all our CEUs unless we're, doing these big, I don't know, you're taking a course over a weekend, right? Like the dry needling course. And so you get this massive amount of CEUs in one weekend. But to feasibly get those routinely, it's really tough. So I think doing the online courses is very helpful for our profession, and it's helpful for other people. But for me, it's a foe. I'm not very good at it.
I think the other kind of thing you just hit on that's really interesting is for people that work 12 months of the year.
Yeah.
Sometimes these really, you have to set aside a block of time for some of this stuff, that these in-person classes. And like for me, I'm on a 10-month contract. If I want to take a course, like a hands-on course, I'm trying to do it over the summer when I don't really have any other obligations.
Yeah. I did the same thing.
I think my best learning, man, I don't know. I'm gonna go fall. I guess I prefer the in-person. The hands-on skills are just something you can't learn through a video. So I want to get my hands-on skills as sharp as I can. So I'll say faux.
And that's where I've said it 100 times, if not 1,000. Like this whole COVID time
sucks.
I would have been such a bad student. Like I would have been such a bad student. Like for all my classes to end up being online for a while, or some of them are online, some of them aren't, and to have to gravitate towards online learning would have been really tough for me. That being said, I think we both would agree, we didn't grow up in a world that everything was technology, right? So
thank God.
Yeah, I mean, like we still had to go buy our freaking textbooks at the bookstore, and they don't do that anymore, right? I mean, everything's like on an iPad or on your computer, and like obviously is a better situation than buying, $1,000 worth of books every semester. But at the same, and who knows? I hope they charge less now that it's digital, but I have no idea. I would have struggled, man. I would have really struggled if I had to read my textbook on my iPad or on a device. But I didn't grow up with devices, so maybe people grow up with devices and it's normalized. So who knows? No idea.
Yep. All right, very good.
Very, very good.
You want to stay with the learning?
Baseball been very good to me. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's FMK. Yeah. Everyone's favorite game that we play, F1, marry one, kill one. This week we're going to give you three different, this is for the students, because we don't talk to the students enough.
Don't.
So this week we're talking about the AT student/clinical instructor dynamic here. How did you label this?
Proficiency scenarios.
Yeah, so your practice skills,
you call them something else. UW Milwaukee calls them CIPs.
Clinical something proficiencies.
Gotcha.
So
we always call them proficiencies, right? That was our hands-on, like
the
in-person
matrix.
test.
We used to have
the
that
matrix. That's right.
So they used to call it
the matrix. And you had to check those boxes, get the initials.
So these mock scenarios that you have to go through as a student, or the mock scenarios that you have to give as a preceptor or clinical instructor. You're going to F1, marry one, kill one here this week with us. We are going to do the psych, social. So whether it's drug or depression or whatever psychological, social scenario you give a student. Emergency care, whether that's CPR or spine boarding. And then the last one would be a Gen Med evaluation. So those are your three. You have psych, social, emergency care, and Gen Med. F1, marry one, kill one. Those of you on the live stream, go ahead and give us your answers as well.
Go for it. Oh. Do you have yours? Do you know yours? Go for it.
I think for sure the toughest one to do a mock scenario on is psych social. 100%.
As the student or as the preceptor?
Either way.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it matters. I think it's really hard to recreate an actual scenario where it's anywhere close to relevant.
Yeah.
I think you can practice. Here's the sheet. Here's what's going on. It just never is going to live up to. The first time that I had an athlete that I had to ask, are you going to hurt or kill yourself? That's not anything you can say you're going to practice it, but that's tough. There's an emotion, there's an edge to it that you can't practice. So I think that's really hard to do that. So I think I have to kill that as a proficiency scenario.
All right.
I am going to F the Gen Med evaluation.
Okay.
I think if you, man, I really hate it. I really hate doing them. And most of the time, if somebody comes to me and says, I'm not feeling good, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just say, go home, or I'm going to refer you to a doctor. So the fact that we have to go through it. Yeah. But I do think there's some value there.
Cough, cough. I'm sneezing too. My throat hurts.
And when we get into these talks about the legislators saying we don't know what the hell we're doing, this is where we need to prove ourselves.
Right.
So I do think there's some value there.
Sure.
Then again, there's value in the psychosocial one. I just don't think you can practice it because it's just that's just tough. So I will marry emergency care. Do it as many times until you feel like you're really proficient in it, because there's a tangible to that practicing.
Yeah.
So that's what I've got. What do you got?
I think right, like the psych social one, it's tough. You should marry it, right? Because it's the hardest one, and so therefore you should practice it the most so that you're ready for these random situations. But I would also kill it solely.
Married and then kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how you get extra money.
Yep.
I'm gonna marry. Or do you give away half your own?
No prenup.
No prenup for Kevin.
And I think solely off of what you just said, like you can't prepare for them, and I don't think we could have enough education without getting a second education to actually appropriately handle things. Because here's what I think. I know you and I know me. We are not very good at separating ourselves from a situation and then saying what's happening right now. What I need to do is like create a divide as athletic trainer versus athlete. And because most athletic trainers care about their athletes, and not that somebody that handles psych situation doesn't care. It's just they're better equipped. They've practiced enough, just like we've practiced enough that to tell somebody that they're injured. You can't practice enough in our world that like somebody comes to you with a psychological or social dilemma, and then I have to kill it, because otherwise all we're doing is learning maybe these 3 different paths to go down and memorizing a script of, if you feel like the conversation is going this way, just say this. And then you feel like you're just being an asshole, and you feel like you're not being a caring, like, athletic trainer to your athletes. So I have to kill it, because it's also just something you can't, in our world, you can't prepare enough for. I feel really bad because there are, I think, many athletic trainers that are equipped to just handle humans, right? Like, to separate themselves from what the profession is and what their situation is, and they're just handling a human. And I think athletic trainers are solidly good at that, but you can't practice that scenario with a preceptor.
Yeah, let's clarify here. That doesn't mean that we're not saying that it's important because we're killing the practice scenario. Well, because psychosocial is
too immensely important.
It's just as, if not more important than the emergency care.
Yeah, and so
it's rivaling the important, because a CPR, a spine board situation, life or death.
Yep.
But psychosocial also is that. So we're just saying,
Just a different life or death scenario.
yes, it's a. So we're
And
just
not
saying
all of them are,
the
right?
practice scenario
Yeah.
is worth killing. Learning the
Yeah.
skills is not worth killing, because
Yeah.
it's super important. It's kind
Yeah.
of like we've said this on the
It's the
podcast.
point
I
of the
remember
game.
Our old mentor, teacher, Dave Biney, used to say,
Yeah.
you can screw up an ankle tape job and give someone a blister and live with it.
Yep.
But if you screw up spine boarding, CPR, if you screw up with a mental health crisis and someone kills themselves, you live with that.
Much different.
So
much
sorry,
different situation.
Continue. So you're killing
Yeah.
you're killing the mock scenario. We need
Yeah.
to figure out a better way to do psych health.
Yeah.
All right. And what are you doing with the other two?
Yeah, I got to F Gen Med too. Like, I mean, again, I think there's two ways to look at it. Most of the Gen Med stuff is easy because you just refer. And then all you need to do is kind of memorize the
WebMD.
Yeah, I mean the quick symptoms of like,
sorry, you have cancer.
All right, if you have X, Y, or Z, you're gonna do this. But if I don't know what that symptom could be causing, well, I'm just gonna refer out. And then, believe it or not, and this is, I think, a very underestimated skill that athletic training students, check this out. When you're at school and you have all these gen meds in front of you, just read what they're for. Somebody says, it's just like, I got a headache. I just feel like I'm really like congested. Well, you give them something that's a decongestant.
It's
right?
like taking an open book test.
Yeah, it totally
notes,
is.
Open notes.
I can't tell you how many times somebody would come up to me in a real world athletic training situation, and they're like, well, I feel like this, I feel like this, I feel like this. Okay. Go into your cabinet of your gen meds and look at what the labels say. And then
did they have heartburn, indigestion, diarrhea, upset stomach?
Then you should give them some Pepto. Cures all of them. Now, here's the thing though. I think it's a very underestimated step that athletes can take in order to not go to the doctor, right? Not get another huge bill on your insurance, card for your parents, or, whatever, or your own card. Your athletic trainer is a really good resource. So I do think we need to be proficient at it. And so we need to understand that we can simplify it, and that if it is complicated, we need to refer it out, right? Because that's the way it's supposed to be. Now, but you shouldn't be sending your kid or your athlete to the doctor because they have seasonal allergies. Like, just freaking give them an antihistamine. Just make sure it's not a drowsy one if it's in the middle of the day.
Don't drive heavy machinery.
Yeah, right. It's much easier than I think many people make it out to be. Because I think people walk down the aisle at CVS or Walgreens and they're like, oh my God, there's so many medicines.
Who's walking down the aisle?
I don't know. Everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not. I'm gonna be standing there.
You're gonna stand at the end of the aisle. Okay.
Good call. I caught on after a second. And then so I have to marry emergency care. We've talked about it countless times, and Dylan probably will agree. It's one of the most important freaking things that we need to be proficient at. And we need to become so proficient at it that we can save a life, or at least minimize, the effects of something that could be catastrophic, and we help that. And even like a deep laceration or a broken bone, like those are all emergency care situations that we need to be so comfortable in, because those are the moments that we really separate ourselves as this like invaluable thing, because there's not many people that are willing to be that first person that's going to take care of that. Now, they're obviously EMTs, firefighters, police officers, and things like that. That's what they signed up for as well. But they're not there usually at basketball practice. So somebody, breaks their leg, you need to know how to handle that, and you need to do it calmly, and you need to be able to be very proficient at it.
Mm-hmm.
So marry the hell out of those emergency times.
Absolutely.
Boom.
And I think the sentiment on the live stream was pretty
Similar,
much the same. Everyone said psychosocial is super important, but most everyone was marrying the emergency care as well. Okay, our last weekly segment here is our fictional athletic trainer.
Let's lighten the mood.
Yeah, we'll lighten this thing right up. So we were going to do this last week, and then we realized at the last minute we had to do Star Wars because of May the 4th.
We didn't have to. We wanted to.
We chose to. So this week we are going to finally get to Arrested Development. Man, there's a lot of characters in this show.
There's always money in the banana stand.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I count 9.
I know.
9 regular characters. So this is you've seen all of it.
I've seen
You've seen all the original
3 seasons.
I've only seen season 1. I've not seen season 2 or 3.
I restarted it because we were going to talk about it. I'm excited. I'm excited to get back into it.
It's because
so far it's awesome.
So where do you want to start? I mean, okay, I'm gonna say this. I think when we first said we were gonna do this, my initial reaction was, man, they're all gonna suck. And it's gonna be kind of like, I know you weren't here for Schitt's Creek. I did the Schitt's Creek when you were gone, and it's like a show full of people that aren't going to be very good athletic trainers. Yeah. But as I think about some of this, I think there are a few sneaky characters here. So,
who do you want to start with then?
well, no, I'll let you go first.
Why?
Okay, fine. Do you want me to just rank, or just where do you want me to
go
start?
for
I don't
it.
know.
Rank them. Have you already done that?
No, I didn't rank them. Okay. But I mean, all right.
Do you want to break it down by category, or do you want to break it down by each person? I mean, it's a lot of people.
Let's go by.
I think we could give maybe the best quality of each person.
Okay.
Something like that.
Go ahead.
All right, Michael.
I think he's the most what's the word I'm looking for here?
Determined, undying.
He's the most
rational.
Thank you. He's just he's not an idiot. Everyone else is really over the top extreme idiots.
Yep.
He's the only level-headed one on the show. So huge bonus points there.
And I think as frustrated as he gets, and he's just ultimately trying to do the best for his family.
Yeah.
His immediate and extended family. And he knows that it's him that can provide that, and they just won't let him do that.
He's the main. Okay, so everyone's asking. A lot of the people on the live stream haven't seen it. They're asking if it's good. It is good. It's funny.
Hilarious.
It's a comedy.
Yes.
And it's a over-the-top.
Stupid comedy.
If you like dumb humor, you'll like the show.
So you're saying, are you saying Schitt's Creek, maybe if you like Schitt's Creek, you might like Arrested Development?
Yep.
I think there's some things you need to. I haven't watched Schitt's Creek.
No, I will say this: Arrested Development's a little old, and some of the stuff they do,
sure.
I don't think holds up well 10 years later.
Okay.
I think some of the jokes they make are probably seen as not so funny now as they were back then.
That's comedy.
Yeah, it's a little dated, but not
totally comedy.
Yeah.
I think there's also I
would recommend watching it though.
There's a cinematic side to it.
Yeah.
To me, that's just it was a different lens to look at a sitcom at that time.
Yeah.
It was kind of, if you like what's the guy that wrote Seinfeld? Not Jerry. Larry David. What's his show? What the heck is his
Larry
show?
David?
Yeah. God dang it.
I don't know.
You talk about Michael.
Okay, so Michael, he's the decision maker of the group.
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh yeah.
There's like, to me, there's a similar like
Yeah.
this reality. It's half reality, half sitcom idea.
It's just extreme situations turned funny.
Yep.
But so Michael Scott, he runs the company. He's a decision maker. He's kind of sees the big picture and some of the like day-to-day stuff.
Yep.
I think he's going to be one of the. He's probably, if not the best candidate, he's in the top 3 for sure.
Yeah.
How about George Michael, his son?
Lacks the confidence to be an athletic trainer.
Yeah, that's a good call.
But he is ultimately
good-hearted.
Very good-hearted.
Yeah.
Very like the core of him wants everybody to be okay. A little confused.
Yeah.
Has a crush on his cousin, but
Tough times.
You know.
He's also kind of a hard worker,
boy.
Right? Decently hard worker. Or he'll follow instructions.
He will definitely follow instructions.
Right.
He'd be a good. He's a good minion.
All
He's
right.
a good minion.
Let's go. Actually, let's go to the oldest brother.
Gob.
Job. I mean, first off, your name is Job. He's probably good at shoulders.
He's got to be.
He's got to be. If you have a name like Job,
he knows shoulders and elbows.
He's a magician.
So
he's an idiot, but he's got good hand-eye coordination. Be a very good taper.
And he does great illusions.
Yeah.
Great
Makes
illusions.
the boat disappear.
Yes.
He is flighty. There's no follow through. He kind of wants he's a dreamer without actually putting in the work.
Common theme throughout the show. He's pretty selfish.
Yeah.
But he somehow he's a pretty good people person though. Like people gravitate towards him.
That's true.
So
I mean, he's only been married 2 times in the first season.
And they're
engaged.
And they're people, well, at least one of them, it seems pretty normal and is also a good person. And you're kind of like, what do you see in that person? He attracts humans. So I think he would be the athletic trainer that could get the athletes in the athletic training room. He just might not be any good at his job.
I think he'd be terrible.
He'd be awful.
Other than he could. Yeah. Okay. How about, I don't know who's older.
Ooh, what did happen here?
Who's older, Buster or Lindsay?
Oh, I think Buster's the baby.
The baby. Okay, so let's go Lindsay and her family.
Yeah, because Michael and Lindsay are twins technically.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're technically
okay.
twins.
So Lindsay,
yeah,
I don't think she'd be very good.
She'd be awful. I think she has really good qualities to her. She's
also personable.
She could be Michael, but she's just so wrapped into not having responsibility that it makes her awful, especially as a candidate for an athletic trainer.
Yep.
And she's very selfish.
Yeah.
Extremely. But every once in a while you see this really good side of her and you're like, oh, okay. She wants to be a good mom, but she doesn't know how.
All right. Here's going to be my biggest surprise for you. Low key.
All right.
I think Tobias wouldn't be bad. I think Tobias has some sneaky qualities that would make him actually legit a decent athletic trainer. Okay, so he's a psychologist. He
allegedly
he will talk to people. Yeah. He can get them. He can interact with people. Here's the thing. He's so over the top oblivious to what is going on around him. He's actually just super nice. He has no idea that he's saying or doing the wrong things, but he's doing them for the right reasons. So he's got that benevolence. I low-key think he would actually be okay. He'd be like it'd be all dumb luck.
Yes.
He's
a really good actor.
Super career-oriented person.
Oh.
He puts everything into all of his careers.
He does.
Being an author, the man inside me.
Yes, he is. He is very dedicated to his career.
He does not discriminate against anyone.
No, and he's very shy about being naked. Never been naked in his life.
He's a never nude.
Never nude.
Which is good. You won't get fired as an athletic trainer. So I
not have to worry about him getting fired.
Low key, I think Tobias is in my top 3.
Definitely get fired doing something else. But, all right.
All right.
I like that. I like that.
All right. And then maybe when we put this up on social media, the only 2 people that commented on who would make it both said maybe would be a good athletic trainer.
What?
I didn't know if they were being serious or not. I mean, she's actually probably this, outside of Michael, she's probably the smartest character on the show. Yeah. Like, at least she's
the most realistic.
And she's got common sense. Yeah. She's also very manipulative, though.
Very.
She tries to, like, lie and sneak behind and kind of, she just manipulates everything.
Because she knows she can. Because she sees that all the adults in her world are morons. And so she can do it. So I can kind of see that she senses the situation. She sees what she could do, and she goes with it. She sees a room of athletes that aren't going to listen to her if she is the prick athletic trainer.
Correct.
So she goes a different direction.
All right.
Or vice versa.
Yeah.
So that's not bad. That's a good observation.
She's also in my top 3.
Okay. All right. Her name's Maybe.
Maybe. So
Can
maybe
I do this today? Maybe.
Yeah.
What are you going to see today? Maybe.
Buster. Anyan?
Technically the smartest of all of them.
Really?
Most educated.
He is so scared to talk to anyone. He's controlled by his mom.
He's so awesome. And he loses a hand. So
he does?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, damn. I didn't know that. Season 2?
I can't remember.
So I think he would suck. I think he would be really bad.
He would be awful.
Yeah.
He would, as soon as something bad happened, he would,
all the time.
Yeah, he'd be hiding underneath a table.
Yeah.
Crying somewhere, asking for his mama.
Juice box.
But he
needs a juice box. Lots of juice boxes.
And he's very polite. Like, well, he's actually awkwardly, ignorantly polite. I'm gonna say that.
All right, so then
my cousin. He might maybe cousin or something like that.
The last 2 characters I have written down were George Sr. And Lucille, the parents. George Sr.
Schemer.
He's in jail.
He's got his finger on everything.
That's true.
I mean, how do you
came up with an empire? I don't know.
And how do you continue to control a lot of things while in a jail cell? I mean, you gotta have some reach, you know? I mean, you got to be a pretty good athletic trainer to like.
You think you'd be good?
Maybe you can manipulate some coaches into like having shorter practice times. Might be able to do it. He'd be awful from the standpoint of everybody would think that he's doing everything he can to be a good athletic trainer, but in reality, he's just making sure that he doesn't lose his job. And so he only cares about himself.
Okay.
And then Lucille's just drunk.
Lucille be the worst. The worst. We don't even need to discuss it.
I mean, talk about a master manipulator.
Yeah.
Master manipulator.
She would just...
Hilarious.
She'd just get everybody else to do the work for her.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So for me, I got Michael, Tobias, and maybe in my top 3.
So I think Michael has to be taken out because he would be, ultimately he would be the best. But
no, then he's the best.
No.
That's what this segment is about. Who would make the best athletic trainer out of this show? It's fine. If he's the runaway, he's the runaway.
I love that Tobias is dedicated to his career. He's just an idiot athletic trainer being dedicated to that. I love it.
Okay.
I'm going Tobias.
All right. I mean, it's Michael and then Tobias. Okay.
So good. If you haven't watched it, watch it.
All right. All right. Let's do our feature topic.
Oh, feature freaking topic.
Yeah, we got a good one for you tonight.
Man.
And
you
our
know
feature
what?
topic tonight is brought to you by
Kinematic Company. Once again, hey, if you want a sideliner for your program, but you don't know how to fund it, Kinematic has filled us in on the best way to bring that to fruition. Okay. Make it an opportunity for your community, right? Let's do some community like outreach. Let's get them involved in our athletic training room. Kinematic offers custom branded panels that attach to their sideliner covers. Local businesses can advertise on Sideliner in a more impactful way than simply just purchasing space on a fence or, the classic like banner that's just on a wall in the gymnasium, right? When you advertise on Sideliner, your community knows you care about your health and well-being of the athletes. Kinematic actually posted a photo, wow, all right, on their social media last week of Decatur High School's tent out of Texas.
That's
Decatur, Texas. 7 local sponsors made that sideliner a reality for that school. 7 opportunities to sponsor yourself on a sideliner. You can check out that photo on Instagram or Facebook at Kinematic Company. Okay, that's at Kinematic Company. There's nothing better for a community of support for your athletes. Learn more at kinematicccompany.com. I think it's a pretty amazing. Obviously, it's a great product. Athletic trainers need to have some privacy on the sidelines of a lot of outdoor events. That being said, I think athletic trainers being able to be a part of the advertising of sports is pretty huge. I think not only that, it's a way to show that like you're invested in this school, in this program, in this organization, so that you're bringing value to that place, right? That you never know where that's going to go. You reach out if you want something that maybe costs a little bit more than what your budget is from your high school. You reach out to your community and you can make it happen. And I think advertising is a really easy way to do that. There's a lot of companies right now that are looking to advertise. They want to get the name out there, and that sideliner is a pretty good way to get some good bucks on some advertising. All I gotta say.
Yeah, I mean, I know sports medicine is often seen as a money sucking department, and there's no revenue generating. Here is a company that's allowing you to generate some revenue to at least cut costs on what your department may have.
And here, like seriously, like when somebody gets hurt and they get taken off to the sideline, where's everybody's eyes? Everybody's looking at the field? No, they're looking on the sideline. They're looking at that person being evaluated. So it's just an opportunity for companies to get people's eyes on their logo, and who knows, maybe lead to some really cool things.
So like we said, check them out at kinematicccompany.com.
Kinematicccompany.com.
Thank you to the folks there. Thank you to Morgan, who we've been working with for the last month.
And remember,
when you go check them out, make sure you let them know that you heard about them through the Candid Athletic Training podcast.
Please. Remember that they're an athletic trainer centered company. They are literally founded by an athletic trainer. So they're one of us. It's pretty cool.
It's awesome. So tonight, our feature topic, Kevin,
is
we want to have some fun tonight. We're gonna. Yeah. What are some examples of exercises or just things you talk about in the athletic training room that you call something different than other athletic trainers may talk about?
Well, I just learned about this one. I want to start with this one.
Yeah, we were talking.
I want to start with this one. I ain't got no money.
No money. No monies.
No monies. And I would have called that just external rotation at 0 degrees. And I mean, it's not as clever, but it's what you're doing. No money. I got no money. I got no money. Hey, I got no money. I think it. So in my world, in my clinic, and I'm writing up my notes every night, or whatever. I'm trying to come up with names to exercises, and every once in a while I'm like, I don't know what to name this other than what the actual freaking action is, right? So like, okay, so
That's what's fun about some of this.
right? Like the whole like D2, D1 pattern, right? So like unsheath the sword to like, pull the arrow out of the quiver, right?
It's so weird because it's how we were taught.
Yeah.
And it's not how it's really the reason we're having this conversation is, should this all be standardized? Shouldn't we all do the same thing?
I'm wondering.
Or call it the same thing. It's just really fun that you might show something and 3 different people will call it 3 different things.
And then you looked at me earlier today and you're like, hey, like let's FMK thoracic mobility exercises. And I'm like, all right, give me 3 of them. And because I have like my go-tos that are the exercises, but I don't call them anything but like wall thoracic extension. And if I
so boring,
right? So like if I were to say to you wall thoracic extension, you'd be like, all right, well, clearly you're using a wall, and how are you getting thoracic extension, right? I know what the exercise is in my head, but if somebody were to read my notes, they wouldn't know what the F that person did. Like they would totally be like, I don't know, I'm just gonna come up with the exercise that I usually do to accomplish the same thing, right? And so it created this kind of interesting conversation in my head of, should we name everything and should there be like more standard of that?
That's why we're having this conversation. So, yeah.
Pitcher squats.
Dylan,
what the F is a pitcher squat?
I don't know. I saw that.
Well,
and Dylan just brings up the right reason here. He's like, when you're documenting, let's say you're documenting what you're doing with an athlete, and then maybe you get hurt, somebody has to come and take over. The person that replaces you should be able to come in and look at your notes and know exactly what that person was doing.
One of the points of notes.
You're like, holy Christ, what?
Nobody would know what that. I mean, no, that's not true. They would know more than if somebody. I would have, like, if somebody would said no money, like exercise, no money, like I would have pulled my pockets out, like maybe like empty my pockets, maybe like pat my hips a little bit, like open my wallet. Yeah, I got no money. I don't know. I wouldn't have done this.
So I wrote down 2 that just came to me that I use quite often, and I'm like, I probably call it something way different. So the seated 90-90 hip mobility exercises.
Yeah.
Like some people call those like hip switches or hip shifts. Some people call them like windshield wipers.
Windshield wipers, sure.
I
call something else windshield wipers, and there you go.
Right?
Yeah,
it's
keep
like,
going.
All right. The other one is, I said this to you before when we were potentially talking about doing an FMK.
Yeah.
Open book. I said, how about open book? And you're like, what? So it's side lying. It's laying on your side and then doing a thoracic rotation. Single arm.
Like if a chiropractor was going to like crack your back?
Yep. And you can...
You call those open books.
Open books.
So I don't... But what... Like, I've never opened a book like that before.
No?
And I don't know. I call them side-lying T-spine rotations.
Open book.
Open book. Maybe I'm going to start calling those open book. And you know what? Hip 90-90 was pretty good.
Okay, so pitcher squat is a rear elevated split squat.
That's a Bulgarian split squat, right? That's what that is. So again, like, yeah, exactly. Thank you, Nate. I think so. So we're at Brew Fitness, right? And when we sometimes when you get to class, you like look at all like the sheets that are on the floor, and you're seeing what you're doing.
What's at each station?
And what's at each station.
What's going to be the easiest thing to do?
So then, like, yeah, totally. And like, which one do I want to end on? Which one do I want to start on? Well, if I'm going to do that, I want to warm up first, but whatever. I think all the time, like oh my God, I'm going to have to think for a second. But we actually had Bulgarian split squats in a class the other day.
Ugh.
And we were doing them, but our feet weren't elevated. It was just literally a split squat.
Okay.
Like and I was like, why did we call this Bulgarian split squat? my foot is supposed to be elevated if it's Bulgarian.
Yeah.
But then why the F is it Bulgarian versus a pitcher squat? I don't know. Like, maybe it really should be called a pitcher squat.
All right, so we put it on social media today. Here's some of the
do we have
responses.
any good ones from them?
So Southern Pro AT said Miyagi's for windshield washer exercises.
Miyagi?
Mr. Miyagi, wax on, wax off.
Okay. But but windshield wiper?
Hannah, I think she just joined us. Hannah said
Hey, Hannah.
she calls it cat cow, but other people call it cat camel.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Which doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
Cat cow.
Cat cow makes sense.
To
you
me.
got udders, you're an angry cat.
Zach agreed.
P.S. Hey, you know what? A great trending thing on AT Twitter could be getting your athletes to do cat cow, but also making the noises.
Okay.
I have some very incriminating evidence of some very great athletes of doing that.
Let's get that trending. Teeks said they call toe taps pitter patter and also hamstring work on the rolly stools.
Okay.
Chair scoots.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, hamstring flexion on a rolling chair.
Yeah. How about toe tap pitter patter?
Toe tap pitter patter. Toe tap. But what's toe tap? What do you mean toe tap? I don't know. Clocks?
Kyler Ann said, I cannot for the life of me figure out why four-way kicks are called steamboats by several of my workers.
A perfect example. A perfect example. A steamboat. And like half of athletic training, physical therapy world knows what a steamboat is. What the F? Why is that called? Why isn't it just called four-way hip? Right? I call that four-way hip. That's nuts.
Jordan Blair says prayer stretch instead of child's pose. No idea where I picked it up.
Nate's talking about humps over here.
No, there's a whole conversation on the live stream about wax on, wax off, and Rick's got the whole history of the Bulgarian.
Oh wow!
Named after Angel Spasov of Bulgarian's weightlifting team.
Shocking! Rick Cox knows the history of a freaking Bulgarian split squat.
I do think even within yoga, they'll call things several different things.
Sure.
Depending on which
Warrior
yoga,
1, Warrior 2,
yeah.
cat cow, child's
tree
pose,
all this stuff. Yeah, fire hydrants, dog peeing. Okay, Brady Pollard said, I see this exercise as toe yoga, and I call them flip flops.
Flip flops.
So it's just like it's a big toe extension flexion.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
How about
I have seen that called toe yoga before.
Caitlin Place said linebackers.
Okay, hold on.
For supported squats.
Oh. I don't know if I was going to guess that.
Yeah. And then Aaron.
Give me another one. I'm not
all right, this is the last one we have.
Yeah.
Aaron Guidarelli says, I learned reverse clamshells as mermaids.
Oh. Reverse clamshells are mermaids.
So,
all right.
So let's just get to the root of it. Should there be universal language in our profession?
No.
No?
It would be too boring. But it's a fun topic to talk about, I think. I don't know if there should be, like, with exercises, because here's the thing. What I love to do, I love, a lot of people know what child's pose is.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people know what cat camel or cat cow is, right? It's been a very popular, both of those are a very popular stretch or exercise that has involved PT, AT, OT, yoga, general exercise facilities, blah, blah, blah. I love taking that and then adding little nuances to it so that I can call it something else, right? Or explaining to somebody that, you know, oh, your back hurts. You know how like child's pose feels really good, right? But if you were on your back, how would you do child's pose? If you were laying in your bed and your back hurt and you wanted to mimic child's pose, but you didn't want to flip over to your stomach, how would you do that? You would hug your knees, right?
Yeah, or happy baby.
Or happy baby. Yeah, totally. And so I think there needs to be obviously like a general consensus of like understanding positions, anatomy, understanding like, prone, supine, sideline, whatever. But then like, I don't know. I love the idea that it is frustrating and that you don't know what it is, and that it's actually really fun to learn that somebody calls something steamboats or they call them, Chuck Norris's or something. I don't know, but I don't know if you could create one solid language. Could you?
I think, but do you think the profession would be better if there was, or don't you think?
No, then we'd be robots.
We should all learn the same special tests.
Ooh.
Even if we call them, I mean,
Ooh.
whatever.
Should there be a standard? Should there be a minimum standard of understanding the names of exercises? That across the board, that's part of your BOC exam. Is that when somebody is quadruped and they horizontally abduct their hip, everybody knows that's a fire hydrant. I don't know.
Yeah, dog.
And some of those I just called Jane Fonda's. I don't know. And it's like a series of things.
The Jane Fonda's.
That's
a good one. So there's a conversation there, and
there is.
It's fun. I mean, we just wanted to highlight some fun parts of it, but I think there is a serious conversation to be had there. And like, let's say you are handing off an athlete to somebody else. Shouldn't you be able to communicate really concisely?
It is tough. I mean, I don't know. Maybe our notes need to be less like proprietary names and more like just actions. Maybe.
Okay, here's the real question. How do you get something named after you?
Ooh, the Candids.
Well,
Let's get some Candids going.
We get the Creighton.
I'm going to create
the Creighton test.
I like that. I really like that.
The Henneberry tape job.
I really like that.
Like, man, let's just get one thing named after us.
That'd be fun. I like it. Let's do it. Good conversation.
They are still arguing about camels and cats and cows.
I like it.
It's great. You know what?
Let's wrap it up.
Let's shut this thing down.
Let's wrap it up. Let's leave them on a really good note of arguing with each other.
Yeah, they don't even know. They don't even know we're here. We're the hosts.
God, yeah.
So
let's shut her down.
Well, very good. Thank you all for joining us this week. Reminder: we are working towards getting more and more deals and discounts on products and services for you. You're going to want to get a Candid Athletic Training membership. To get those things, to give priority topic suggestions. You want us to talk about cat, cows, hurricanes, whatever you want us to talk about. If you are a member, we'll work it into a show. You want discount on merchandise?
CandidAthleticTraining.com.
Swag.
CandidAthleticTraining.com.
Get yourself a membership.
CandidAthleticTraining.com.
Check us out on social media, Candid_ATC. Anything else, Kev?
I don't think so. I mean, I look forward to next week. It was a fun conversation.
Yes, sir.
Thank you to Healthy Roster. Thank you, Brew Fitness. Thank you, Howie's. Thank you, Kinematic Company. Making this podcast what it is. All right?
Absolutely.
All right, everybody have a good night.
See you next week.
Bye.